Nightly homework sessions often turn into a cycle of bargaining and frustration. Parents, exhausted from their own work, spend their evenings trying to motivate a child who is already mentally checked out. The standard response is to outsource the problem. We send them to traditional tutoring centers, hoping a professional can drill the grades back up through repetition. But those centers are often built to treat the symptom rather than the cause. They focus on mechanical test-taking tricks that don't address why the child is resisting in the first place. If a student is emotionally disconnected from learning, forcing more formulas into their head is rarely effective. The technical patches don't stick because the underlying drive isn't there. To change a student's academic trajectory, the intervention has to move past external pressure and focus on recalibrating their internal initiative. Since 2004, LKEDU has used a different approach. They moved away from the cram school model to provide what they call a complete life navigation system for students. This framework is called the MAPS Growth Map, an educational system structured across 4 sequential dimensions. This diagram shows the 4 quadrants: mindset, attitude, skill, and passion. The logic is that a student's heart and attitude must be addressed before technical training can be effective. Following this specific sequence is designed to move a student from being a passive recipient of information to an active, self-directed learner. The first stage is M, for mindset. Resistance to learning often stems from a fear of failure. When faced with a difficult problem, a student's instinct may be to give up or shut down to avoid the frustration of being wrong. This is where the growth mindset comes in. By viewing intelligence and ability as things that can be trained, students can build a more resilient psychological foundation. You can see this stage working when a student's vocabulary changes. Instead of saying, "I can't do it," their default response to a challenge becomes, "I haven't learned it yet." Once that resilience is established, the focus moves to stage 2, A, for attitude. This stage addresses the student's character and their day-to-day approach to their responsibilities. The philosophy here is that a student's attitude dictates their level of engagement. While grades are important, the attitude they bring to the work is what ultimately determines their long-term growth. By prioritizing mindset and attitude first, the system shifts the primary driver of learning from external parental pressure to the child's own internal initiative. The third stage is P, for passion. To keep that internal initiative running, students are encouraged to use their natural curiosity to explore the world around them. When a student discovers a genuine interest in what they are studying, learning stops feeling like a tiring chore and starts becoming a self-sustaining process. Finally, we reach the S, for skill. In the MAPS framework, technical skills are introduced only after the foundations of mindset, attitude, and passion are secured. This graphic defines skill as a meta-ability, the capacity to learn and master new things as they are introduced. This quadrant also integrates the soft powers, communication, teamwork, and problem-solving, that remain essential regardless of how a student's academic requirements change over time. While traditional tutoring often starts and ends with rote memorization, the MAP sequence ensures that skills are built on top of a resilient and curious mind. We move from a cycle of nightly frustration to a self-driven student who can tackle academic challenges with confidence. This transformation is guided by the core philosophy of education starting from the heart, providing a foundation that helps children keep moving forward. Navigating modern education requires a strategy that looks beyond the next exam. Equip your child with the internal framework they need for long-term growth. Reach out to LKEDU today and book your customized MAPS Learning Diagnostic.